Hey, Brian Freeman, Freeman Construction. Hey, I'm out here on a property in Escondido. We are helping a homeowner here that wants to get an ADU on their property. They already have a primary dwelling, has a septic system in, and we're on probably 3/4 of an acre, so it's a smaller lot, and it's very, very tight as far as being able to fit the septic in for the primary dwelling that's already here, plus the 8 new required leach field for the accessory dwelling unit. So we've been working through a process, number of steps here to actually do a leach line locate on their existing septic system, and then working with a septic engineer in order to get a system designed, and then we're working with them to figure out the actual footprint of the home, the ADU that can actually be built here. So I wanted to kind of walk you on the property here, walk you through on the property to give you an idea of what we're looking at. So I'm going to take you through now. All right, so we're here on the driveway, and you can kind of see the slope going down. And this is actually the only spot on this lot that we can get an ADU in here. And it's going to probably have to be on a stem wall foundation subfloor in order to make this fit. So we have about a 30-foot wide area that we can actually fit it in order to have enough area for our leach field. So this particular area does not allow a seepage pit because the perk grade is not good enough, and they have some issues with the groundwater in the area. So we weren't able to condense that area, and we do not want to install an advanced treatment system just because of the cost. So we're working around that, and then we're showing the reserve area as an advanced treatment system. So I'm going to walk you down here. You can kind of see the road out here. We have a setback, front yard setback of 60 feet from center line of that road. So that really limits the space that we actually have here. Turn around. We have to be well into those plants over there before we can actually start building, just because of the front yard building setback. And then that tree is kind of our limit as far as where we can build to with that ADU. We have to get a garage in here, so we'll probably come 10 feet off this wall or that driveway, and then put the garage, and then it'll sit back a little way so you have enough room to turn around. So if we walk down here, you can actually see where the excavator here, these leach lines were a little deeper than a water probe could get to, so the excavator used or just did a little pawing around here and found the end of these lines just to make sure there's no more leach lines on this end. And these are the markers of how our septic contractor marked the end of the leach lines, and you can see they're 10 feet apart, and there's 3 rows of leach lines right here, and they just follow the contour of the land, and they run over here. We were able to get a general idea of where these were at by checking with the county of San Diego and getting an as-built from the prior septic contractor that was drawn up. And then we went out with a water probe and were able to locate these. So we're going to try to save as much of this as we can, and then we're going to have to add on to these. You can kind of just follow these as they go, and they run all the way this direction. Now this area down below, this will be what we use to install all the new leach field that is required, and then the leach field that we actually have to remove in order to fit this house in here, the new ADU. So, and we are able to go into that building setback, which allows us to get closer to the road. So these leach lines are 10 feet apart. It's typical installation. You can see how they kind of hug that bank up there as well. Now I'm going to take you up top, and I'm going to show you an area where we're going to put an advanced the reserve area, and that's going to be done with their advanced treatment system. All right, so we're up here on the driveway now, up near the house, and you can see this is the mini excavator we used to actually locate some of those deeper leach lines that we couldn't get to with the water probe. And this area that's nice and flat on the side of the house here, this is going to be used on, we're going to show this on our septic layout that we're going to submit to the county. We're going to show this as our a reserve area, and it's going to be done with an alternative septic system, so an advanced treatment system. And those actually are only about 6 inches deep, so nothing will be done here unless the primary system was to fail. So now we're going to walk back down here, kind of see the lay of the land again. Now that home is going to sit on the side there, right along that driveway, the accessory dwelling unit. So that's really about it. So hope that was helpful, and you can get an idea of partially what's required. Each lot's a little different as far as getting an ADU septic in and making sure it's feasible, but that's definitely the first thing you want to do before you start designing plans. Got to make sure that it'll fit, especially for on a really small lot, half acre, 3/4 of an acre. Big concern. You also got to make sure that you're 100 feet away from a well. So, all right, thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you again soon.